Well, welcome back to Home Track Heroes on CW11 here at Evergreen Speedway. Caleb Hart, Kyler Hope, fresh off watching the California Kid win Monster Truck Freestyle. It is time to go back to Das Boot, and we've got the Hornets.
Exactly 30 laps for their A main event, and let's get to know your lineup. Starting on the front row in the Gearhead Garage, number 47, that is Dylan Frazier, and it is outside the 30 of Pat Folger.
Gabriel Guevara in the 4R, sponsored by the Loft Coffee Bar in Everett, starts inside row 2. Austin Kramer, the Rankin Earthworks number 14, starts in 4th.
In the PMS Power Decals 07Z, that is Tom Hibbs, and to his outside the 81, Bobby Fisher in the Shelton finishing car.
Row number 4 features Annika Duncan in the 163. Her parents sponsored that race car, and the 88 of Garrett Kramer, sponsored by Rankin Earthworks.
And then we got the 77 of Christian Miller on the inside of row number 5. To his outside, we got the 221 of Lyndon Smith, sponsored by PRCBD.com, health and wellness for people and pets.
The 6th row is the Twin Peaks Pub, number 15 of Matt Snyder, and the 00 of Dan Miller.
Next row is made up of Zach Bristol, filling in for Damon Claiborne in that 43 car in the Raritan Dodge Jeep Chrysler Ram of Monroe. It is outside the 16 of Peyton Hopp, sponsored by Papa's Tavern.
Row behind them is the 025 of Trent Gillespie. Quality Roofing sponsors that car. The 68 driver unknown.
And then we got Kenny Spear, one of the B-Main transfers, sponsored by Dangerous Curve Photography, and it is outside the mystery number 77.
Many mysteries in this race. It'll be wonderful. Final row, Lucas Hausenfluck in the 03 and Leilani Wilson in the 5.
So
full field. Gonna be good.
Exactly. Our B-Main transfers back there in the back, and then Peyton Hopp and Trent Gillespie back there. A couple of your fast time drivers we're going to have to really keep an eye on as they work their way through the pack, as Pat Folger and Dylan Frazier are about to take us to green.
Oh, this is going to be good. Put them on the reverse boot and let them go. Green flag is out. Folger's got the early jump going in backwards on the 3/8. And again, the Youth Hornets, this was the place to watch them, right here at the little joint, the little short shoot in between the tracks. A lot of action happened here, and so far, so good.
You really see them lose a ton of speed, and that really helps out your first few drivers so they can really open up a gap as the rest of people get stuck in that funnel. They got the Ferris wheel in the background right here as we watch them all roar back down onto the regular front straightaway, but backwards.
Scenic Evergreen Speedway and the Monroe Fairgrounds here in the background. You can see an interesting look to get through there for Folger. He swung way wide, and then it is downhill from the back of that 3/8 down and through. So if you can get that car rotated really early, you can actually build up quite the head of steam coming through if you can hold it through the left-hand turn.
Exactly, yeah, that tight left hand onto the 1/5 mile has got to be really tough if you're carrying a lot more speed than you're used to. Austin Kramer doing a great job in that 14 car, able to hang on to second place so far, and he really hasn't let Pat Folger check out that far. As yeah, you definitely see Folger take that really, really wide angle, and that almost allowed Kramer to put a little bit of a bumper to him that time going in. As we got a car around, and that is a block. That's a roadblock.
Yeah, no, parking lot on the access road. Caution.
And thankfully for all these drivers, thankfully for all these drivers, the yellow flag came out. Not too much damage done, but the yellow flag has come out, and that's really going to stack them all back up, because if it didn't, they would have been really, really spread out.
There's like 8 cars all stacked up in there. Let's get a look at it as it happens. Your lead 5 get through, and then at car number 6, problems, stack them up. Somebody found a way through. Somebody just continued on down the 3/8 saying, no big deal. I'll come back around a little bit later.
Yeah, it looked like almost a chain reaction there. Gillespie into Bristol and Bristol into Snyder, and that caused a roadblock. And the yellow lights came on pretty quick, thankfully, so that's really going to stack them all back up. That's definitely not what the 30 of Pat Folger or the 14 of Kramer wanted to see.
Both of them were building pretty good rhythm out there on the raceway. They were taking 2 different paths in through the short chute there, but they were stretching away from the back half of the field. Now we're going to have to stack them all up, gather them back together, and let them loose once again with a lot of race still remaining here in this one. Speaking of racing, this segment brought to you by Coastal Community Bank. At Coastal Community Bank, community is our middle name. Our bankers take time to understand your business and help move it forward. Visit coastalbank.com to find a banker near you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
And that caution really helped out the 025. Trent Gillespie is involved in it, but he's still right there in that 4th row. We know how fast that 025 car is as we get the green flag back out in the air. The 47 Dylan Frazier trying to sneak his way underneath the 14 of Austin Kramer, and that's really, really tight going on to the 3/8 bank.
Yeah, Kramer somehow held him off, and Kramer is right there. Folger had to take a really narrow entrance compared to what he had been doing to get in through the transition, but he got it. He held it. He now has a car length or 2 on Kramer and behind him.
Yeah, Frazier looking really good in that 47 car. He had a phenomenal restart, was able to stay out of the 14. He hangs out of that third spot right now as Folger able to open up to that lead that we saw before. Let's go 3 wide going on 3/8 bank. Why not? What could go wrong?
Well, you know, we've just had that kind of chaos here on Home Track Heroes. That's Bristol in the 43 going way up and around, isn't it? Yeah, it is. He's really moving.
Yeah, he's in that. He's substituting for Damon Claiborne for points tonight, so that's why you'll see these stars next to his name up on top. Same with Hibbs. Hibbs is actually driving for Bristol, so a little bit of car hopping, car number hopping, whatever you want to call it, but that 43 car is moving fast with Zach Bristol behind the wheel.
Yeah, Bristol likes the boot as he's working to the inside here, trying to pick up another position in and through. He's got it. He's clear. Now he can start chasing down your top 5 competitors. As you look again, Folger and Kramer still 1 and 2, getting away a little bit from Dylan Frazier, and Frazier is under some heavy pressure.
Yeah, that's Gillespie in the 025. We know he's not going to hold back. He's going to go as fast as he can, as far as he can, as quickly as he can. That's just his driving style in the 025 as we continue to watch that fun angle off the 1/5 onto the 3/8, and here they go flying down that 025. He's in 3rd place already. That is danger for your top 2.
How many times this year have we seen, just on this show alone, Gillespie coming from 16th, 17th, 18th, you know, deep in the field to be up and threatening. Now, usually it's a little bit later in the race. It takes a little bit of time for him to get there. Right now, he has got a ton of laps remaining to make his presence felt.
Exactly, and Kramer going way wide on entry. I don't think he quite knows how close that 025 car really is to his back bumpers. Folger, he's still able to kind of have that wide entry. Kramer goes sliding in there, able to keep it off the 30 for now, as Kramer knows he's under heavy pressure now from the 025, as your top 3 walking away from the rest of the field for now, as it's going to get really exciting. Still have 23 laps remain in the Interstate Battery Hornet A main event, as still so much time for so much to happen.
Wow, Kramer actually kind of driving that car in through the transition like you would see a rally car or a TA2 car on a road course do. You can see him just kind of slide the thing, making it wide in the back end around the corners. It costs him a little bit of speed, but it makes him tough to pass. However, he was maybe snoozing at the wheel entering the South Pole there, as there goes Doug Gillespie.
Yeah, Gillespie carried a ton of momentum off of the little access road, little S's, whatever you want to call it, and was able to carry the momentum down the back straightaway of the 1/5 mile and get around the 14 of Kramer. And now Gillespie's going to go to the inside of Folger immediately, and there's a big bumper. Wow, some heavy contact with both your top 2 drivers, and Gillespie's going to throw it in reverse, I guess.
Oh, look out. Somehow everybody managed to jam on the brakes and not get any more of that beyond what Kramer and Gillespie sustained. But yeah, top 2. Bad deal for both of them. Let's take another look.
Yeah, it looked like Gillespie just had to slam on the brakes a lot harder, and Kramer was just not ready for it, as that was well before the normal braking line for the drivers, and Kramer just really was not prepared for it. And Gillespie threw in reverse and really slowed up the rest of the field, as thankfully the caution had come out, but he threw the reverse into a dangerous spot.
Well, to Gillespie's credit here, Folger really took a different path into that corner, as he had been swinging way wide and cutting down hard. That time he took more of an even circle into it, and I don't know that Gillespie was anticipating that kind of deal. I mean, he'd been running a little bit further back and hadn't seen Folger take a lot of turns yet, so might have caught him off guard.
Exactly. Well, and that's a tough break for the 025 Gillespie. We know he's high up there in points, and now he's out of the race from that damage, so no more of that. It's going to be a huge, tough break so late in the season. Let's just hope the 025 Gillespie can recover from that points-wise, with only a few races left to go in the 2021 season.
Well, quite the shakeup now here up in the top of the field as well. Let's throw points out the window for a second, as 2nd and 3rd are out. That shuffles everybody else up a position. Dylan Frazier and Zach Bristol are going to restart right on the back of Pat Folger, and Bristol's got to look to the inside here as we'll make our way to the transition.
And 3 wide with Peyton Hopp and Garrett Kramer. So new Kramer up there in the mix in the 88, and he's going to try to work his way into 4th, but Peyton Hopp had a phenomenal restart right there in the 16. He went from 5th or 6th all the way up to 3rd, and we haven't even have a lap complete yet, so phenomenal run right there from the 16 of Peyton Hopp. He still has 21 laps now to try to get around these top 2.
Well, he's got a new leader to chase down, as Bristol did indeed beat Folger into the transition and through it. And now it's going to be Zach Bristol setting the pace. Pat, who has had some moments, he's had some flashes, still there in second, but it's a little bit different line when you're chasing a guy around as opposed to when you're setting the pace. He's going to have to be careful now. He can't quite afford to make that big, wide swing out and come down through, else somebody's going to stick their nose inside him and shuffle him back even further.
Exactly, as we got a mess of cars coming off the 1/5 onto the 3/8. Kenny Spear right there in 38. He was one of your B main transfers. He worked his way up pretty far so far. Bobby Fisher in the 81, the 00 Dan Miller. That's the 07Z Tom Hibbs substituting for... Oh, 3 wide, why not? We can make it work, right?
There were like 7 wide for a second, or they were at least 3 wide, 2 deep going in and through that corner. That was insane.
And we got the mystery 77 driver in there as well, so just a ton of action. Let's go really wide. Why not 3 wide again down the front straightaway? These guys do not know when to stop.
They're compact cars, no big deal. They'll fit. Make it back in. There's still 3 wide. Dan Miller's white and red 00 is kind of the inside. He's going to be getting a little bit nervous because this is the action point, and he finds a way to squeeze through just barely.
He bounced it off that curb. That was a great run there for the 81 of Fisher. He was able to run the middle line through all of that, and he gets a little bit of a bump from the 00 Dan Miller. It's going to shove him wide. We're wrecking. Dan Miller goes around.
Danny, I was saying such nice things. Danny.
And then we're still 3 wide in this group. Let's Austin Fluck in the 03, another one of your B-main transfers moving up. Lyndon Smith, 38, Kenny Spear, Annika Duncan in the 163 in this mix as well. Tom Hibbs in the 07Z. It's just a mess of cars, and Kramer back out there in the 14. He's caught up to this pack now.
Oh, I love this boot. Give me more reverse boot. Give me reverse boot every week, some form or fashion. This is awesome as you continue to see drivers just making their way through, and Bobby Fisher loses the chess match coming off the south.
And he's going to fire back up, and he's in the back of Kenny Spear. There must be something wrong with the 38. He's just not going. Looks like the left front is flat from that contact, and he's going to pull it in off the surface. He's behind the tires enough. We might be able to stay green with him, pull it off right there.
Thank goodness Monster Truck Freestyle is done, else you'd be in danger at this point in time. Back a look to your leader. It's Bristol, Folger, and Hop still 1, 2, and 3. About a car length separating your top 3. Bristol just out there making really good looking laps in and around the racetrack right now. Very, very solid as we're closing in on the halfway point.
Garrett Kramer in the 88 in 4th place, and Dylan Frazier in the 47 rounding out the top 5 right now. You see Leilani Wilson, the 5, going a lap down, as we're going to have heavy lap traffic for this last 15 laps for your leader, Zach Bristol. As long as there isn't a caution, then he might be able to stay out in front of this lead. But Pat Folger doing a phenomenal job staying up this far, as he really hasn't let Zach Bristol check out at all.
Well, making their way up and through the field, it continues to be Bristol. And one of the interesting things that's happening right now, Kyler, out on the racetrack, you see the transition from having just a little bit of daylight to being at nighttime and all the fluorescence of the fair going on. These drivers with the daylight will run a tinted visor sometimes, but as it transitions into the evening, if you kept that tinted visor on of some form and fashion, visibility can be a factor at this point in time. It's like wearing a pair of sunglasses at night. Some people are cool enough to do it, but it certainly affects the way that you're able to see the lines in the racetrack and where darker colored cars are in front of you. So drivers with a clear visor on might have better visibility right now on the raceway as opposed to those who started with a smoke or a blue mirrored shield on their helmet in order to see in the early stages of the race.
Exactly, as we see the 025, Gillespie's back out on track, going another lap down from your leader. So obviously that car's not running quite the way he's used to, but he's out there getting some of the valuable points needed for the championship. But right now, Damon Claiborne's 43 car, driven by Zach Bristol, is definitely going to be gaining a lot of points in this run if he's able to stay in front of Pat Folger and Garrett Kramer as they continue to battle out. I mean, Pat Folger, he's still right there. It's been 10 laps, and he has not let Zach Bristol check out.
No, your top 2 is actually breaking away as Peyton Hopp is kind of fading out of the picture a little bit more lap after lap. Really good consistent laps from your top 2, and so far traffic braking all correctly for Bristol as he's never encountered it in any form or fashion that would be considered heavy.
Yeah, and if you remember watching last year, we ran the regular style boost, so opposite direction of the runner right now, and Peyton Hopp had quite the moment. He ended up on the barriers just to Zach Bristol's right-hand side right there, up on 2 wheels on the barrier, so definitely a whole different circumstance for Peyton Hopp this year running the reverse boot as he is up into 3rd place right now, and Pat Folger, Zach Bristol not too far out of check yet with 10 laps to go. Peyton Hopp could still run them down and really have a nice rebound from last year's boot incident.
It was interesting, Bristol's starting to take a little bit of a different line going into that, we would say, turn 3 and 4 on the 3/8. Folger closing in on him as Bristol is, I don't know, that car's got a lot of lean on it coming into the corner. It's like he's taking a sharper turn, and it almost looks like it's costing him speed. They managed to avoid a car that was loop-de-looed there in the turn that time, so good for them. But watch it. Well, watch Bristol come into this corner, and look how sharp that he had been turning it. It's a big, sharp turn downhill, and I wonder if that's just scrubbing a little speed for him.
It just might be. As there's the 15. That's who we saw spin around. That's Matt Snyder. He's going to take the hard left turn, almost at the expense of Lyndon Smith. That's going to allow Christian Miller in the 77 could come on through as they battle hard. They're just outside the top 10, I believe, or maybe just inside the top 10. I don't know where we're at on track right now. This boot is screwing me up.
Yeah.
As they continue to battle hard. Great action everywhere we look. As Lucas Hassenfluck, one of the B-main transfers, he's looking good right up there in the 03 car. Now he's got Christian Miller and Lyndon Smith, a couple of the other younger drivers hunting him down as they go back down the front straightaway with 8 laps remaining.
If we're paying attention to the ticker, that should be like 8th, 9th, and 10th at the moment right now, as Miller working the outside, trying to pick up another position and moving forward. He's looking good in the 77. Started 9th, so really been a battle for him to figure out the boot and go forward, but he's starting to pick it up here in the late stages.
Yeah, it looks like it's Blaine Manning's old number 68 car that he's in. So I'm not sure what's going on with his normal number 77 car, but he's in a borrowed car tonight. You see the duct tape numbers on it. So you get a little bit of a bumper from Lyndon Smith there in the 221 as they continue to battle with 7 laps remaining just inside the top 10.
Okay, so that is the second 77 car. We had 2 of them on our list here. That was the unknown version of Christian Miller then. Is that...
We got 2 Christian Millers out there?
Maybe there's 2 Christian Millers. Maybe he's twins. Who knows? But we didn't know which one of those drivers that 77 was. Anyways, impressive run for him. Then there, we'll just call her as we see her.
As they've really caught back up to the 03 of Lucas Hassenfluck for that 7th spot. Is heavy lap traffic for your leader. That's Annika Duncan and Bobby Fisher that he's having to battle now. They went 3 wide for a second at a place you normally don't want to go 3 wide. And this has really allowed Peyton Hopp to catch back up to your top 2. Zach Bristol trying to hunt and lap down more traffic as Pat Folger and Peyton Hopp not that far behind. So just one mistake or one incident with a lap car is all that they need for Zach Bristol to lose his race lead to Folger or Hopp as they continue to battle on. 5 laps remaining, under 5 laps remaining as we come up to 4 to go.
And that's Gillespie looming ahead of him right now, isn't it, for the Bristol Mobile? So Gillespie just kind of limp in that car as best as he can here in the late stages.
4 laps to go as they put Gillespie down another lap. Bobby Fisher has a lap car. The orange and white car is your second place car. Pat Folger, Peyton Hopp in the 16, and then Garrett Kramer in the 88 is rounding out a 4th right now as they continue to pick up lap cars and put them down as Gillespie almost a little bit of issue there going in the intersection.
Well, Bristol streaking away, race for second. Folger and Hopp coming up on Fisher at the South Pole. Folger washes wide, and that's the opportunity Hopp needs to pull side by side with him.
Yeah, you saw Folger carry a lot of speed in. He had to overcorrect the car in the final corner of corner 5, 6, 7, whatever you want to call it. And that really allowed Peyton Hopp to get back to the inside of Pat Folger as they go down into the access road and onto the 1/5 back straightaway.
Nice move by Hopp. Hopp's got second place. He'll secure it. Now with a couple laps to go, he's hoping for a mistake by Bristol. There's a lap car in between them. But hey, Peyton Hopp at least up into a position to maybe capitalize if something happens.
Exactly. Just one lap mistake for Zach Bristol could allow Peyton Hopp to get to his back bumper, but it's going to take a massive mistake with the lead that Zach Bristol has in that 43 car as he continues to pick him up and put him down. Coming around this time, corners 5 and 6, he will see the white flag in the hands of John Peterson. He just needs one more clean lap in the boot, but we've seen how treacherous this track can be.
Well, yeah, but these drivers have done a really good job. I mean, when there's been an incident, it hasn't been in the racing groove anywhere other than that one a little bit earlier. If they've spun and made a mistake, it hasn't been to the point where we need to throw to caution to stop this race. Bristol in through the transition for the final time, and crack a cold one somewhere, Damon Claiborne. Car's coming home with the win, it looks like.
Coming home in the win and coming home in one piece, more importantly, as he continues that championship hunt. Zach Bristol, hand out the window, waving to the crowd. Checkered flag is out for Zach Bristol. Peyton Hopp comes home second. Pat Folger hangs on to third. Kramer fourth. And Guevara in fifth as we have more racing action still to come here on Home Track Heroes on CW11.